Flamboyant Chinese businessman and philanthropist Chen Guangbiao is used to generating headlines here in China. Publicity stunts such as smashing up expensive cars, handing out millions of dollars on the streets of Taiwan, and marketing cans of fresh air, or exhibiting 16 tons of Chinese bank bills, ensure that he's never really far from the front pages. But recently, Chen has been taking this behavior even further. Most recently, Chen expressed an interest in buying one of the US's most prestigious news titles, the New York Times. Chen told the media that he has been contemplating the bid for over 2 years. However, this week he said that he had failed to meet with the shareholders of the newspaper and that he is no longer pursuing the deal. But never one to give up easily, the irrepressible recycling mogul now says that he is considering to buy the News Corp-owned Wall Street Journal instead. So just what do Chinese net users make of this most unusual of billionaires, his high-profile antics, and particularly his failed foray, or at least so far, into international publishing? Well, to hear what's being said, let's now join our researcher Esther Dung in the newsroom. Well, first off, Esther, before going into discussing Chen's charity activities or his purported attempt to purchase the New York Times, how much do Chinese net users really know about him? I mean, say his business activities or his background?
Well, that's a good question. Although Chen is certainly a household name in China, where his fortune actually comes from is something of a mystery for most net users, it seems. If you check out his personal information on Baidu, on China's equivalent of Google, almost everything about him is detailed except for his company. It only says that he is the manager of Jiangsu Huangpu Recycling Resources Company, which he founded back in 2003. As for what business the company is involved in, well, it simply says it develops the green and the recycling economy. That has left many posters rather confused, like this poster who writes on Weibo.com. I really want to know what exactly he does. Well, Shanje365 from Nanjing asks, does anybody know how he accumulated his wealth? But it seems some local authorities, and that helps him get good deals. Research. Song Qi has this information. His company is actually the biggest company in China dealing with building demolition, and it also recycles the materials collected from demolition. I guess he must have a good relationship with a lot of local authorities, and that helps him get good deals.
So then, from demolition to publishing, is there much being said online about this supposed purchase of the New York Times that he has been drumming on about for quite some time now?
Well, actually, based on what I've seen, the majority of net users aren't surprised at all to hear that the deal didn't go through. You have to remember that the Chinese public are quite used to Chen's publicity stunts. Ai Xuejiao, a finance commentator, has this to say. For me, Chen is doing nothing but making a show of the purchase. First, think about it. Does he really have enough money to afford the newspaper? Second, even if he has enough money, so what? Even if the Americans can't manage the newspaper properly, can he? Third, has he ever thought about any possible resistance from the U.S. government to selling the newspaper to him? And also, lots of posts suggest that Chen himself doesn't care about whether or not he can buy the paper. And this analysis from Fei Mei is fairly typical. There's no possibility that he can buy the newspaper. Chen himself doesn't care about that. His only purpose is to attract public and media attention.
Well, if that's the case, I think it's fair to say that Chen Guangbiao has somewhat achieved his goal. In fact, I've seen foreign press reports, or rather unusual business card that he has been handing out to the journalists over in the US.
Sure, that's also attracted attention here in China. The card is crammed full of positive descriptions of Chen, such as most influential person in China, most prominent philanthropist in China, and so on. And I have to say, lots of net users are completely shocked by the card. First, Guangzhou Kangle has this rather blunt comment. I'm afraid what Chen Guangbiao actually is the most influential mental patient in China. And Dayang Dongli says, can't he be even a little humble? At least use one of, okay? I have no words to describe him. But others are more embarrassed, and online he's seen slammed for shaming all Chinese people. This poster remarks, he has no self-awareness, and he's humiliating all Chinese people. Well, 居小琴世界 has this take on 财经.com. From his card, it's easy to see he doesn't sincerely want to do charity. That's why people turned him down, even he handed out money to people on the street.
Okay, finally, Esther, on that point, we mentioned that Chen is probably best known for his high profile and unusual charity activities. What are Chinese net users saying about these?
Well, on this question, posters' opinions are divided. A certain number of them certainly support him, like this poster who has this to say. I know many criticize him for making a show of carrying out charity, but at least he's donated a lot of money. How much can each of us do, and how much can we donate? But a lot more disagree with this. This poster has this comment. Chen Guangbiao said many times he donated hundreds of millions of dollars for this and for that. But where did he get the money? And did he really donate that money? I don't care whether he's high profile or not. What I do care about is if he's telling the truth. Finally, I'd like to finish up with this take from Xu Ke. If anyone thinks Chen is doing charity, then I think we really need to sit down and discuss what charity really is.
Thanks, Esther. And that was China Take researcher Esther Deng with some online reactions to Chen Guangbiao's latest antics. Next up on China Take, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.